Greetings! Mansory79 here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days Part 21. Alright, let's get started. Pressing the A button now.
Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days.
Loading game and proceeding. Here we are on the main menu, and for those of you who watched my previous video, I spent that time testing out the D Trial Deck 01 Urara Hanayama, Bandmaster of Blossoming Bonds. And now in today's video, my objective is to test out the D Trial Deck 02 Michiru Hazama Demonic Jeweled Dragon of 4 Flames. So first let's head on to Edit Deck menu, and here we are. So like I just mentioned before, the deck, what I'm doing in today's video is explaining and displaying the cards in the D Trial Deck 02 Hazama, Michiru Hazama, Demonic Dragon of the 4 Flames, and later testing it out. So first let's go to Edit Deck, and here we are in the Edit Deck menu. So let's first start off with the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s in this deck we're playing, right deck Grade 3, Jewel Embracing Dragon Fang, Drag Jeweled. Skills for skill, continuous. When this card be rolled upon, it is also regarded as Demonic Jewel Dragon, Drag Jeweled. And second skill, auto as Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, toss Soul Blast 4 cards of different grades. If the cost is hate, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard, and until end of turn, increase or decrease its power to 1. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +1 critical. Power at the time becomes 1 and can increase or decrease afterwards. And the third skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you have Soul Blasted 4 more cards with the same time for the cost of your card's ability this turn, this unit gets +5,000 power. So for Drag Jewel, it's the main Grade 3 to ride this deck. The first skill, when you ride on top of him, the new card riding on top of him is treated as a Demonic Jewel Dragon, Drag Jewel. So you'll be able to still use any skills that require your Vanguard to be a Drag Jewel card. Second skill, auto, when attacking the opponent's Vanguard by Soul Blasting 4 cards of different grades, you can not only decrease your opponent's Vanguard power to 1, but if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets 1 critical. So for the second skill, it's a good way to make your attacks more likely to hit by reducing your opponent's Vanguard power to 1 and potentially pressure or finish him off by giving the +1 critical to your Vanguard. And the third skill, as long as you Soul Blast 4 more cards for a single card skill, your Drag Jewel can serve as a 18,000 point attacker for your front row. So for Drag Jewel, we got 4 on the deck, 1 on the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 3 Truculence Raider, skill auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard of Drag Jewel in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, this unit gets +10,000 power until the end of battle. At the end of battle, put into your soul. So for Turbulence Raider, it's a support card for the Drag Jewel deck. Its skill, just by attacking while your own Vanguard is a Drag Jewel, by paying the counterblast of 1, you can give power to your Turbulence Raider and move it to your soul. So with this skill, Turbulence Raider can serve as a 23,000 point attacker for the front row and later to restock your soul for later Soul Blast with. So for Truculence Raider, we got 4 on the deck, leaving it that way. And now for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck we're playing, right deck Grade 2 Demonic Stone Dragon, Jewel Neil. Skills for skill, auto as a Vanguard rear guard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, Soul Charge 1. Second skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by a unit with Drag Jewel in its card name, Soul Charge 1. And if your soul has 3 or more cards of different grades, draw a card. So for Jewel Neil, it's the main Grade 2 to run this deck. It's for skill. Just by landing an attack on your opponent's Vanguard, either your Vanguard or rear guard Jewel Neil doing the attacking, you can Soul Charge 1. So this first skill is a good way to restock your soul. And the second skill, when you write Drag Jewel on top of Jewel Neil, after Soul Charging 1, if you got 3 more different grades in your soul, you can draw a card. So this second skill is another good way to not only restock your soul, but to potentially draw more cards to increase your hand size with. For Jewel Neil, we got 1 on the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Mystic Accordionist, skill auto. When this card is discarded from hand during your right phase, you may put this card into your soul. So for Accordionist, it's a pretty decent card to play in your Dark States decks, especially for Jewel Neil. Just by discarding it for the right deck cost, you can move into your soul instead of your drop zone, thus giving you more cards to Soul Blast with later on. For Mystic Accordionist, we got 4 on the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, Grade 2, Ultrasound Series, Skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle from hand, Counterblast 1. If the cost from hate, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them and put it into your soul, shuffle your deck, and if your soul is 4 or more cards of different grades, draw a card. So for Series, it's a pretty decent card to play in your Dark State Nations decks, especially your Junior deck. For just by calling in from hand and paying the cost, you have the chance to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and choose a card to put into your soul, then shuffle your deck. And then if you have 4 or more different grades in your soul after playing the skill, you draw a card. So for the skill, it's a good way to not only restock your soul with cards to soul blast with, but to potentially also restock your hand with more cards to draw by drawing. So for Ultrasound Serum, we got 4 in the deck, 2 in the deck, leaving it that way. And now for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s that we're playing, right deck, Grade 1, Jewel Core Dragon. Skills for skill, auto. When this unit is rolled upon by Demonic Stone Dragon Jewel, call this card to the rear guard circle. Second skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks or boosts, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of battle. At the end of the battle, put this unit into your soul. The effect is mandatory. So for Jewel Core Dragon, it's the main Grade 1 to run this deck. The first skill, just by writing Jewel on top of him, you can superior call Jewel Core from your soul to the rear guard, securing yourself a potential attacker or booster from the back row. And the second skill, when attacking or boosting, you can add 5,000 power into your Jewel Core Dragon, thus turning it into a 13,000 point attacker from the front row or a 13,000 point booster from the back row. But at the end of the battle, after it boosted or add the power, you have to move Jewel Core into your soul. So for the second skill, it's a good way to not only have Jewel Core be a powerful attacker or booster, but to also restock your cards with Soul Blast with later on. So for Jewel Core Dragon, we've got 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1, Psychic Prima, Miranda, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills for skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel in the deck. Second skill, auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until end of battle. So for Miranda, it's a perfect guard for the Dark States Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with, discard a card from your hand, and you can completely block one enemy attack. So for Miranda, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1, Avid Keeper, Skill, Auto as a rear guard. When this unit boosts a Grade 2 or greater, you may soul charge 1. So for Avid Keeper, it's a pretty decent card to play in your Dark State Nation decks, especially for Jewel Neal. Just by boosting a Grade 2 or greater unit in front of him, you can soul charge 1. So this card is a good way to keep continuously soul charging as long as you got it on the back row and a Grade 2 or higher in the front row. So for Avid Keeper, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1, Direful Dog, Care Sign, Skill, Action as a rear guard once per turn. If your Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, Counterblast 2. If the cost is hate, draw a card. So for Care Sign, it's a pretty decent standard card to play in this trial deck. Just by having on the rear guard while your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, by paying the cost of Counterblast 2, you can draw more cards, thus increasing your hand size with. So for Kirstein, we got 3 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1, one who calls upon Raging Thunder, Fergrets, Skill, Auto. When this unit is placed in the rear guard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Drag Jewel in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost from paid, choose a card from your drop zone, put into your soul, and this unit gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Fergus, it's another support card for the Drag Jewel deck. Its skill just by calling to the rear guard while Drag Jewel is your Vanguard. By paying the cost of Soul Blast 1, you can take any card from your drop zone, put into your soul, and then give 2,000 power to Fergus. So for the skill, it's a good way to add a specific card you want in your drop zone to your soul to later Soul Blast with, but to also turn Fergus into a potential 10,000 point attacker or 10,000 point booster from the back row. So for Fergus, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 1, Friend of the Netherworld, Ling, Skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, look at the top 2 cards from your deck, choose a card from among them and put it into your soul, and put the rest in the bottom of your deck. So for Ling, it's a pretty decent card to play in your Dark States Nation deck, especially in this trial deck. Its skill, just by calling it, you have the chance to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and then one of those cards can go into your soul while the other goes in the bottom of the deck. So this card is a good way to not only mainly just to restock your soul with more cards to later Soul Blast with. So for Ling, we got 2 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 0 lineup. For the grade 0 since deck we're playing, right deck, grade 0, Julius Draco Kid, skill, auto. When this unit is ready to pawn, if you went second, draw a card. So for Julius Draco Kid, it's the starting in this deck. It's scaled just by riding a top fin. If you're the second to go, you get to draw a card. For Julius Draco Kid, we've got 1 the right deck, leaving it that way. And now for the trigger lineup, for the triggers in this deck we're playing, the grade 0, Connected Rampage, Cleanse, critical trigger, we've got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. The grade 0, Insane Researcher, draw trigger, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. The grade 0, Wire Pull Subjugator, front trigger, we got 3 in the deck, leaving it that way. The grade 0, Caper Companion, heal trigger, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. And finally, the grade 0, Spiritual Cave Determination, Albaria, over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect, choose from your units, and it gets plus 100 million power until end of turn. So for Albaria, it's a neutral over trigger to play in any nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but it also features a skill unique to it alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, choose one of your units, Vanguard or Rearguard, and give it plus 100 million power. So for Albaria, it's a pretty decent over trigger to play in this trial deck. Just by revealing it during your turn, not only can you get 100 million power just by revealing it, but also another 100 million power for its own skill. So you have the chance to give 2 units in your field 100 million power, or a single unit 200 million power, depending how you want to choose the effect to give the power to. So for Albaria, you've got 1 in the deck, leaving that way, and deck has been built, card is explained, so let's get on to testing out the deck. So let's just save the deck first. For the cards in this deck we're playing, 4, grade 3, Jewel Embracing Dragon Fang Drag Jewel. 1, grade 2, Demonic Stone Dragon Jewel Neil. 1, grade 1, Jewel Core Dragon. 1, grade 0, Julius Draco Kid, starting unit. 4, grade 3, Truculence Raider. And 4, grade 2, Mystic Accordionist. 4, grade 1, Avid Keeper. 3, grade 1, Direful Doll Kirstein. 4, grade 1, One Who Calls Upon Raging Thunder Fergus. 2, grade 2, Ultrasound Siri. 2, grade 2, Friend of the Netherworld Ling. 2, grade 1, Friend of the Netherworld Ling. And 4, grade 1, Psychic Prima Miranda. And for the triggers in this deck, we're playing 4 critical triggers, 4 draw triggers, 3 front triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 1 over trigger, Albaria. Alright, deck built, card was explained. Now let's get on testing out the deck, but first let's just change the deck sleeves. Change sleeves, okay. For the right deck sleeve, we're using the purple Vanguard Circle sleeve, press Y, and keeping the blue Vanguard Circle sleeve as the main deck sleeve, press A, okay. Deck built, card effects explained, and card sleeves changed. Now let's get on testing out the deck, so leaving the edit deck menu and returning to main menu, going to fight menu, going to CPU fight, selecting the deck I just built, the D Trial Deck 02. Selecting deck, now choosing the opponent. Okay, for the opponent, I'm going to test this deck out on. I guess I'll use it against Danji Momoyama, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Get started. Alright, we're deciding who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors the rock, I lose, going second. Okay. drawing our starting hands. Okay, I drew a Great One Ling, a Great One Kirstein, a draw trigger, a drag jewel, and a heal trigger. Okay. I should hold on to drag jewel the persona right with and the 2 Great Ones to use their skills, so I'll just send the triggers back, redraw. Okay. Stand the Vanguard. My opponent's turn, he rides the Great One. Diablo's Bat Steve. Steve's skill, he superior calls. Matt to the back row. Soul charging, a perfect guard, nice. My turn, draw. Okay, I'm gonna ride for my right deck, Jewel Core Dragon. Okay, what should I discard? I gotta hold on to the triggers to defend with, the Great 3 to persona right with, so I got 2 copies of Kirstein. I'll just ditch 1 for the right deck cost. Right. Julius' skill, I draw a card. I drew a critical trigger, okay. I call Ling to the rear guard, call. Ling skill, look at the top 2 cards on my deck. A perfect guard and Avid Keeper, okay. I'm going to put Avid Keeper into the soul, the perfect guard goes to the bottom, so that should be enough. Going to battle phase. My rear guard attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through. Boom, 1 damage. 1 damage check. No trigger, safe, nice. Now Jewel Core attacks the Vanguard, 8k. Drive check. Yes, draw trigger. I drew another critical. Power the Vanguard. Ah, unbelievable. 3 criticals out of the deck already. Boom, 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger, okay. Safe. End of turn. My opponent's turn, he rides the Great 2. Diablo's Anger Richard. Richard's skill, he moves Matt into the soul. He calls Lyle and Stephanie, plays the order card, Brother's Soul. Soul charging 2 cards. Lyle and an order card. Rear guard to Vanguard, okay. He can attack with 2 more attacks. Chance he'll get a trigger, so I'll just block the first attack with a draw trigger, 13k. Attack blocked. Okay, safe. Here comes the next attack from the Vanguard, okay. Gonna let the Vanguard go through, no guard. He drive checks a draw trigger, come on. He gives all effects to his rear guard and draws 1 damage. Damage check. Draw trigger, yes! I give all effects to my Vanguard, draw a card. Another trigger? Come on, where are all the normal units? Why do I keep drawing all my triggers out? Okay, then I guess I'll block the attack with a front trigger. Guard. Attack blocked. Safe. And now it's my turn. I stand and draw. Oh, come on! My over trigger? Seriously? Why do all my triggers keep coming out? Whatever, I'm gonna ride for my right deck. Demonic Stone Dragon Juliel. I discard a critical for the right deck cost. Riding Juliel. Jewel Core skill. Superior call from the soul. Calling. Okay, that should be enough. Going to battle phase. Ling attacks the rear guard Stephanie. 8k. Alright. 1 rear guard down. Now my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. 10k. The attack goes through. Drive check. Draw trigger. I draw a card. And give power to Jewel Core. I drew a Great One. Finally, a non-trigger. Boom. 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger. Bruce. Safe. Now Juliel's skill. I soul charge. What do I soul charge? A critical trigger. Come on. That's the last critical in my deck. Now I have no critical triggers left. Jewel Core attacks the Vanguard. Skill plus 5,000 power. Total 23k. He goes for front trigger. Okay. And now attack blocked. That's the end of my Jewel Core skill. He goes to the soul. Okay, end of turn. My opponent's turn. He rides the Great 3. Diablo's Violent Spruce. He calls a grade 3 rear guard, Brian, okay. I let the Vanguard go through, no guard.
ノーガード
He twin drives, first check. No trigger, safe. And second check. Perfect guard, not good. 1 damage on the way.
行くぞ決着の時だ
And here it comes. Touchdown, boom, ouch.
ダメー
Damage
ジ
check. No trigger. Now an attack from the rear guard. Okay, I shouldn't let myself get too much damage. Next turn he can final rush, so I'll discard a critical trigger. Guard.
ガード
Attack blocked. And here comes another attack from his rear guard. I guard with a draw trigger. 15k. Attack blocked.
ガード
Okay, safe. Now it's my turn. I stand and draw.
私のターンドロー
I ride for my right deck, Drag Jeweled, and for the right deck cost, let's see. In my soul, I only got great 0s and 1s. I need great 2s and 3s as well. Okay. This is tough. I don't have any great 2s. Wait, no, when I write a Jewel Kneel in the soul, so I have a great 2. I just need to secure a grade 3 in the soul to use a skill. Okay, I got the great one, Fergus. It'll let me take any card from my drop zone to put into the soul, so in my drop zone I only got great 0s and 1s, so I guess I'll just discard my Jewel Kneel to secure the grade 3 later on. Okay, I'm gonna ride for my right deck, Jewel Embracing Dragon Fang, Drag Jewel. I discard Drag Jewel from my hand for the right deck cost.
さあ
Right,
この子の出番
Drag Jewel,
ライド
Jewel Kneel skill,
スキル発動
Soul Charge, a heal trigger, and drew a grade 3. Nice. Next up, I call the grade 1 who calls upon Raging Thunder Fergus to the rear guard. Call
コール
Fergus' skill. I Soul Blast 1 card. I Soul Blast a grade 0 and take a card from my drop zone to move to the soul. I'm moving the grade 3 Drag Jewel into the
パワ
soul.
ープラス
Okay, switching places. Next up, I call the Great One, Direful Doll Kirstein.
コール
Kirstein skill, Counterblast 2, draw a
スキル
card.
発動
I draw a heal trigger. Come on, seriously? Then I'm gonna call Abbot Helper to the back row and Turbulence Raider to the front row.
コール
Okay, that should be enough. So, go into battle phase. Boosted by Keeper. Jewel Kneel, Drag Jewel attacks the
ガード
Vanguard.
にアタック
Activating Keep my Vanguard skill. I Soul Blast 4 cards of different grades. A grade 2, a grade 0, a grade 3, and a grade 1.
このスキルで決着よ
Drag Jewel skill, reducing my opponent's Vanguard to 1 power and +1 critical.
クリティカルプラス
Then activate Keeper skill, Soul Charge
ス
1.
キル発動
I Soul Charge a grade 0. Come on, another heal trigger? Seriously? Why are all my triggers leaving the deck so much?
完全ガード
My opponent perfect guards. Twin drive, first check, draw a trigger. I drew a great 1. Okay, I give all effects to Fergus.
パワープラス
And
ドライ
second
ブチェ
check,
ックフロントト
front
リガ
trigger.
ー
Yes, all effects to the
パ
front
ワ
row.
ープラス
And attack blocked. Boosted by my Kirstein. Truculence attacks the Vanguard. 31 to 1.
ノ
The
ーガ
attack
ード
goes through. Slash. Damage check. No trigger. Safe. And now boosted by Ling. Fergus attacks the Vanguard. 38k.
ノ
The
ーガ
attack
ード
goes through. Zap. 1 damage. Damage check. Ah, draw trigger. Come
パ
on.
ワープラス
All effects to his Vanguard. He draws a card. End the turn. My opponent's turn.
ドロー
He activates Final Rush.
悪魔は神
And
様
now he's going
神様のお
to
約束だろ一気火星だ
going through the battle phase. Okay, rear guard the Vanguard. Okay, he can later use his skill to restand his 2 front row rear guards. So I guess I'll just block them first. I'm going to guard this attack with a draw trigger, 18k. Gonna let the Vanguard go through later. Next up, he attacks the rear guard. Go ahead.
ノーガード
1 rear guard down. Now here comes the Vanguard.
ヴァンガードにアタックだ。
Skill of Bruce, he's Soul Blasting 5 and restanding his rear guards. No guard, take the hit.
ノーガード
Twin drive first check. Front trigger of all the cards to get.
パワープラス
Power to the front row. And second check.
ドライブチェック。
Grade 3 Bruce, no good. He can Persona right next turn. Here comes 1 damage.
決着の時だ。
And touchdown, out.
ダメージ
Damage
チェッ
check.
クよし
Heal
ト
trigger.
リガー
I give all effects to my Vanguard.
パワープラス
And here comes an attack to the rear guard. Gotta protect my rear guard. I'll guard the heal trigger. 28k. I gotta preserve this guy to get a grade 3 in the soul.
ガード
Protect it. Now 1 more attack from the rear guard.
ヴァンガードにアタックだ。
Gonna let the I guess I should play it safe. I guard 38k. I gotta make sure I don't get too much damage in case I cannot finish him off next turn. Guard.
ガード
Alright. Safe. Now it's my turn.
私の
Stand and
ターン
draw. Okay. Go into main phase. In my soul, I got a grade 1 and grade 0s. I need grade 2s and 3s. Okay, then. Alright, I'm going to call the rear guard. Fergus. Fergus' skill. Soul Blast 1, grade 0. To secure a grade 2 from my drop zone into the soul, I move my grade 2 Jewel Neil into the soul. Plus power to Fergus. Alright, that should be enough. Then, yep, that's enough I think. So just going straight to battle phase. First up, boosted by Kirstein. Truculence Raider attacks the
ヴァ
Vanguard.
ンガードにアタック
Skill activated. I counterblast 1 at 10,000 power to Truculence.
スキル発動
31k to the
パワ
Vanguard.
ープラス
He guards for front trigger. Okay. Then next up, Truculence's skill after attacking, move to the soul. Now boosted by Avid Keeper, Drag Jewel attacks the
ヴァンガー
Vanguard.
ドにアタック
First, I activate Avid Keeper's skill, Soul Charge 1.
スキル発動
I Soul Charge a grade 1. Drag Jewel skill, I Soul Blast 4 different grades. I Soul Blast a 1, 3, 2, and 0.
この勝負私に分がありそうね
Here it comes, Drag Jewel's skill, reduced my opponent's Vanguard to 1 power, plus 1 critical to my Vanguard.
クリティカルプラス
My opponent guards a perfect guard, not good.
スキル発動。
He discards a
全ガードだ。
grade 3 for the cost, twin drive first check, no trigger. Oh, now this guy comes.
ドライブチェ
Second
ッ
check,
ク
perfect guard, not bad I guess. And okay, attack blocked. Now boosted by Ling, my Fergus attacks the Vanguard,
ヴァンガード
18k.
にアタック
He guards for front trigger, skill plus 5,000 shield, attack blocked. Alright, that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn.
スタンドアンドドロー。スキル発
He's
動。
activating Final Rush.
悪魔は神様。
And now he's Persona riding. Bruce. No. He's adding power and draw a card. He calls a back row rear
ガ
guard.
ードへアタック。
Stephanie. Okay. He can attack with 33,000, 23,000. I should. Should I guard or let the attack go through? Tough choice. He still has the chance to get triggers, so I guess I'll conserve my hand to block the rear guards, let the Vanguard go through. No guard.
ノーガード
ドライブチェ
Twin
ック。
drive, first check. No trigger, safe. And second
ドラ
check.
イブチェック。
No trigger, safe. Here it comes. Ow! 1 damage. Damage check. Grade 2, okay. One more attack from the rear guard. 33k. No guard, let the attack go through. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, perfect guard. Now here comes the attack from the rear guard, 23k. I guard with a critical trigger, 28k. Attack blocked. Okay, safe. Now it's my turn. Stand and draw. Yeah, Drag Jewel. I Persona Ride. Persona Ride, and I drew a Keeper. Okay. In my soul, I got a grade 3 and grade 1. Okay, then. I'm first going to call... I'm going to call Fergus. Hold on. What should I do? I guess I'll first activate Kirstein skill. I counterblast 2. And draw a card. I drew a grade 3 Truculence Raider. Okay. Then... Alright, I call Truculence to the front row. And I call Keeper to the back row. Call. And... Okay, I think that's enough, so... Going to battle phase for stuff. Boosted by Abbot Keeper. Truculence attacks the Vanguard, 31k. Skill of Abbot Keeper, I Soul Charge 1. Soul Charge a grade 3, okay. Skill of Perfect Guard, he blocks, okay. Next boosted by Abbot Keeper. Drag Jewel attacks the Vanguard, 31k. Keeper's skill, I Soul Charge 1. Soul Charging a grade 1, okay. The attack goes through, Twin Drive, first check, no trigger. And second check, no trigger. The attack goes through. And four flames, shot, damage check. No trigger, alright, 6 damage, I win. Well, that was rough. Not too bad, though the deck wasn't working out for me for the whole fight. I managed to at least use Drag Jewel's skill twice, so I got win, double trigger, did a Persona Ride, 8 turns passed, did a Superior Call, retired 5 or more opposing units, drew 3 times in 1 turn. I got 1750 VP, total 13,025 VP, press A to go next. Leaving the fight, return to fight menu. Leaving fight menu, return to main menu. Back to the main menu, go to edit deck menu. And with that, the deck's been built. Cardfight explained, and I just finished testing out the deck in front of you, so with that, that's all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you all soon.